All right, just hours after striking Syria, the United States, France and Britain have also launched a new bid at the United Nations to investigate the chemical attack in Syria, for which they've already carried out the missile strikes. Now, the three allies circulated a joint draft resolution at the Security Council that calls for the unimpeded deliveries of the humanitarian aid, enforcing a ceasefire, and also demands that Syria should engage in the United Nations-led peace talks. Earlier, the United Nations Security Council had failed to adopt a Russian-drafted resolution. The resolution sought condemnation of what Syria said was aggression in violation of international law and the United Nations Charter. Only Russia, China and Bolivia, in fact, voted in favor of the draft resolution. 8 countries voted against the draft, while 4 have chosen to abstain from voting. Now, during the UNSC meeting, Russia accused the American-led coalition of violating the international norms. The Russian representative said that there was not a single resident in Duma who could actually confirm the use of chemical weapons in Duma.
The United States makes an already catastrophic humanitarian situation in Syria even worse and brings suffering to civilians. In fact, the U.S. panders to the terrorists who have been tormenting the Syrian people for 7 years, leading to a wave of refugees fleeing this country and the region. The current escalation around Syria is destructive for the entire system of international relations.
The United States was also prompt to hit back at Russia for trying to shield Assad. The United States claimed that there is ample evidence against Syria for having used chemical weapons against its own people in the past as well.
The targets we selected were at the heart of the Syrian regime's illegal chemical weapons program. The strikes were carefully planned to minimize civilian casualties. We did not give diplomacy just one chance. We gave diplomacy chance after chance. 6 times. That's how many times Russia vetoed Security Council resolutions to address chemical weapons in Syria.
Well, the United Nations Secretary General also appealed to all member nations to show restraint and avoid any sort of escalations.
I call on the members of the Security Council to unite and exercise that responsibility. And I urge all members to show restraint in these dangerous circumstances and to avoid any acts that could escalate matters and worsening the suffering of the Syrian people.